Welcome to America, period. Presenting this community interview with the Cutting Board Deli. Featuring your host, Matt Sweets. With special guest, Bobbie Miller. Welcome to America, period. Your source. Follow and subscribe for free on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and more. Proudly made in the USA. Hi, this is Matt Sweets Staniszewski, and this is America, period. I'm here with entrepreneur and owner Bobbie Miller of the Cutting Board Deli. First of all, how are you?
Good. Thanks for having. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, absolutely. No. Thank you very much for the invite as well. We definitely appreciate that. Growing up here in Washington, PA, this site has usually been like the Bermuda Triangle, if you will. However, as of what?
March 1st.
March 1st, you celebrated 1 year.
I did.
Do tell, like what do you attribute that to, and how do you feel?
Well, I think more things are needed on the North Main part of the street. So I think some of that is there's just nothing here. No offense to Shorty's, but, they're iconic. But how many hot dogs do you eat in a day? You eat something more every now and again.
I don't. Big Dave eats those, so, I don't mess with hot dogs.
Yeah.
But
I get them occasionally myself, though.
do you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Fries with gravy.
Once a year I do have a hot dog, but it will be at a pirate game or something like that.
Yeah.
So I can appreciate that.
But I support local all the time, so,
Yes, you do. You've been very active on social media, not only, promoting your own business, but really you've been a partner for a lot of these businesses, just promoting them and some of the amazing things that are going on here in downtown Washington, PA.
Well, if we support each other, we grow from there. So.
And, a lot of your ingredients, they're locally sourced, right?
Yeah. Use Joe's Bakery for some of my rolls and things.
That's very hometown, folks.
Yes.
If you don't know, that is very hometown.
You got to get up early for Joe.
Yes.
Destination Candy, Linda. I use some of her things, which are also, her things are local that she keeps in stock there. So I go up there and get things from her to use here. Energy drinks every morning. That's just for me, but, gets me through the day. So, yeah.
Yeah, you need a little energy kick once in a while, And you've had, regarding those partnerships, you've had a lot of people coming up from, let's say, the commissioners held a real estate expo.
That was a busy day.
Things.
That was a very busy day.
So, events going on downtown would definitely, correct me if I'm wrong, help generate more business for you, right?
For everybody, but yes, for me. And, and it's always good to tell when people are here that aren't from your town, to tell them the things that are here and
Love
the history of some of the things.
Yep.
Like the building that Shorty's is in, and they've been there since 1932, I think.
Something like that.
Trapanzano's across the street since 1926. Right. So, those people don't know those things are here. So to share that information.
That history and embracing, the past, but also, you here 1 year embracing the future as well, which I love. So what are some items on the menu that the regulars kind of enjoy?
My Reubens from day one have always been the best selling sandwich.
No kidding.
Yeah.
And so you opened right around St. Patty's Day last year, right?
I was open for 4 days when they had the Washington Goes Irish.
Okay.
And I was swamped, obviously, because you're brand new. Everybody wants to try it.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
You think a Reuben is like, it's St. Patrick's Day.
Oh, no. I love a good Reuben, 100%. Yeah. That's one of my go-tos. So, anyways, you were saying about the experience?
So, it's like those things, but Things I thought were odd, the turkey Cuban.
Oh, we definitely need to talk about that because I've seen it online. I'm getting ready to try it here shortly. I'm excited. All right, folks. Like I said, I'm a huge Cuban sandwich fan here. I'm very excited to try the Cutting Board Deli turkey Cuban sandwich. And look at that. For $12, that is huge. Make sure you try this out. Ready? Wait, I'm trying to get the Guy Fieri kind of arms up here. That is legit. And apparently I don't have the Guy Fieri response yet to learn, but that is absolutely amazing. So tasty.
And it's not deli meat. This is
Duck down a little bit further. Duck down and say it.
Oh, gee.
Further down. There you go.
This isn't deli meat. This is fresh. Fresh ham cooked. Fresh turkey breast cooked. She slices it on her own.
Amen. Like, this
Thank
is
you.
absolutely amazing. Bobbie, you killed it on this, man.
Thank you.
I can see why this is a big seller. It is absolutely delicious. And the beauty of it all, too, is bringing different options to downtown Washington, Pennsylvania as well. Granted, yes, we love our pizza and other things, but this, a turkey Cuban, oh my goodness, you have to try one of these.
Yeah. So I thought nobody in Washington's going to eat a turkey Cuban or a Dayton goat cheese salad. They're two of my best selling things
Really?
on the menu.
Nice, nice. What else, do people, I see a lot of soups online as well.
Yep, homemade soups every day.
Okay.
So chicken and wild rice, that's on Wednesdays. I keep that consistently on Wednesday because I have so many people that want that.
Sure.
I make some strange things. I make a jerk chicken soup.
Wait, strange?
Strange, yeah.
Do tell.
So-
we have to hear about this, right?
I just, out of the box. My bread delivery guy was from Jamaica. He didn't like any of the foods
And the
here.
soup is not, quote, out of the box when you said that.
No,
Right,
not.
right.
The thought is.
I got you. No, I appreciate that.
So I was like, okay, let me come up with something for you. And he tried a pumpkin soup, and their pumpkin soup was different than the puree kind of thing.
Right.
So he didn't like it. And I said, okay, well, when you bring me my bread next time, I'm going to have something special for you.
Okay.
So I'm looking up Jamaican things and stuff, and they have a pea called a pigeon pea. And I was like, well, I can't make pigeon pea soup because nobody's going to eat that.
The name is
Yeah.
kind of
So-
not the most attractive.
Thus
but
became Jamaican jerk chicken soup.
nice.
So your first thought is that's a little weird because it has some cinnamon and some nutmeg and things in it.
Right.
And I'm willing to give samples of things. So once you try it, you get a whole different picture of that. It's one of my summer soups, so that's
Okay.
coming up again for that. So
Okay, so I need to get back up here very soon then. That's what I'm hearing, right?
yeah.
Why did you start this business to begin with? I mean, the food business in general is typically very difficult. Why'd you get in?
Well, I'm not going to say it isn't very difficult.
Right.
As a kid, I always used to make sandwiches for my dad for work.
Ralph Abe, right?
Abe, yep. He
Yep.
looks like, or did look like Abraham Lincoln.
Nice.
So I always made sandwiches for him. And then on Saturdays, he would work on cars at our house. And we lived right behind Gabby Market. So he would just give me money and have me go down and get stuff to make him sandwiches. So you'll see a lot of times when I do specials, there's some sort of Italian sandwich.
Right.
Or I have two different Italian ones on my menu.
Okay.
Italian subs is his favorite thing. So, and then, which we just called them JoJo fries. You take a big potato and
Wait.
Hag it
JoJo
up.
fries. What are these?
I don't make them here, but it's
Okay.
just like a
No,
potato
what is
wedge.
JoJo fries though? I mean, like, Okay, so
it's a big potato, like a baking potato, but a large
Okay.
one that you cut in big, not wedges, like smaller than wedges, but still big. And then you double fry them and season them. So they're kind of like soft and creamy in the middle and like crunchy on the outside of that.
okay. Like I'm not a big fried food person,
Yeah.
but that sounds pretty damn good.
So that was like Saturday afternoon lunches for my dad.
Nice.
I don't fry things here because I do tend to try to be on the healthier side of the not so healthy.
No, and that's understandable, especially with some of your amazing salads and so forth. And quite frankly, I hate to admit this, or I am not afraid to admit this. I don't like walking out of a restaurant and stinking like fried food.
Yeah, you won't get that here.
Yeah, no. It smells pleasant. It's a nice
You might
atmosphere.
smell like chicken and wild rice soup when you leave.
No, and that's fine, you know. But fried food, oh my goodness, that freaks me out a little bit. Just saying, you know.
So everything is pretty much fresh here because I don't even have storage space. So I'm constantly going to the store and getting fresh produce and fresh things. So
it's pretty much daily. You're getting fresh food, and people are enjoying fresh meals.
yes, the meats for the most part are not deli meats. Those are turkey breasts, the ham, the boneless hams, a slab of roast beef, a slab of corned beef. It's not a deli meat. So,
And you know, based upon your history with your dad and what you're doing right now, it sounds like everything is made with love.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do it if it wasn't. You got to believe in what you do for people to
Right.
believe in you.
Right. No, I love it. I love it. Now you have daily specials. I know you had the Vito at some point, and that
Yes. The Vito
was. Do tell about this.
sold
I mean,
out. So that's another type of an Italian
Okay.
sandwich. So, and that had some different little things on it too, that had like an artichoke spread that had
Nice.
some Parmesan cheese and things in it on a focaccia bread that was toasted. So that was a sellout sandwich.
Okay.
And then we had the torpedo, which is kind of like the traditional.
Wait.
sub.
That was just recently
Yeah.
featured on your page on
Yeah.
Facebook. Do tell about this because
So,
I'm like,
People want the torpedo back, so we're gonna have Torpedo 2 coming up.
okay, what's all on the torpedo?
That has mortadella. It had salami. It had pepperoni. It had capicola, lettuce, tomatoes, onions, a house-made creamy Italian dressing
Yep.
on a nice soft sub roll, like not the hard, like a nice soft plush.
So I'm not like scratching the top of my the roof of
Yeah.
my mouth or
And
anything. So
some-
it's nice and
Yep.
manageable, right?
Yeah. And it had some, and you can leave anything off that you don't like, but it had some pepper rings on there too.
The torpedo.
Yeah.
Why'd you name it the torpedo?
That is a name for a sub. That is one of the original names. Like here, we always call people things hoagies.
Yep.
They were not subs. People in other states and things did not.
Right.
If you walked up and said, I want a hoagie, they have no idea what that is. So.
Well, and Bobbie, that's interesting you mentioned that because, in your travels, wedding soup.
Right? That's local.
How do people not know about wedding soup? I mean, my goodness.
That's a local and I did not know that. I had people come in here and ask me what wedding soup was, and I was kind of
Really?
how do you not know what wedding soup is? I didn't know that was
No, like that blew my mind, learning about that this is apparently like a Southwestern PA thing,
Yeah.
or
yeah.
that is insane. Now, you also have a Greek salad, which,
Yes.
from my understanding, you got the seal approval from that community. Yes?
Yes,
Nice.
very much.
Do tell, what's all in that?
So that, again, when you get a salad for me, I'm cutting everything right here as you order it.
Again, everything
So-
made fresh.
Yep. And so that it has the romaine lettuce. It has little cocktail tomatoes because those have more flavor than a regular sliced
Right.
tomato.
Right.
Cucumbers, the Kalamata olives, onions, feta cheese, and then it is my house-made lemon dressing for it. It's like a vinaigrette
Okay.
type of things for
And
that.
now,
so.
you make all your dressings in-house, right?
Yes.
Nice.
On the fly, I'll make ranch too. If I had somebody ask me for ranch and I said, I don't have ranch, give me 10 minutes.
Wait. Back up. So you're telling me within 10 minutes, somebody walking in and you were able to whip up some
ranch dressing.
Homemade ranch
Yes.
dressing. That speaks volumes right there, Now, you have a great view, great seating, love it. What do you attribute the success towards at this point? Like word of mouth, social media?
It's 100% word of mouth and social media. When people post,
It's tasty. It's homemade. It's fresh. It's not something opened up out of a can. No, I'm impressed. Very impressed. This is a good location. It's a good restaurant, and people should stop here for the hours to get something to eat. My opinion.
they're telling other people. I'm lucky enough that all of those people go out onto other formats like the Yelp and the Google and things.
Right.
So I have all 5-star reviews currently.
Nice.
So people passing through on the highway will see my 5-star reviews and find this little place on the corner.
No kidding.
From Colorado.
Really?
From San Francisco. I've had clear across the country people who have been passing through and stopped here.
Now, okay, I have to ask you a question before we go into the kitchen. If you were going to create a sandwich and name it after you, what would you name it and what would be on it?
So seriously, I never thought of that. And I'm going to tell you the first thing that came to my head, and it's going to sound stupid.
No.
And literally, like, because I've thought about making this before, but I never thought of a name until you just said this. People like fried bologna sandwiches.
Oh, my Lord.
It
Dad, you are definitely...
the Bob Bologna.
Oh, my goodness. Wait. You name your sandwich the Bob Bologna. Why Bob?
People who meet me a lot of times, and it's more men than women.
Okay.
I will say my name is Bobbie. The next time they say my name, it's Bob. So the Bob Bologna.
Okay. I can appreciate that, Dad. That is totally up your alley right there. Now, okay, being creative and so forth. Have you had like an epic fail? Like, what?
I'm going to tell you, I'm waiting for it because a lot of soups that I make, I make up in my head. I put it out there on the menu,
Right.
and have never made it before, and I make it, and I hope for the best, and that's really worked out so far.
So you're just putting yourself out there and be like, you know what? Let me, try this, and X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
And you offer soups Monday through Friday, correct?
And on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I usually do 2 soups. So that's where you're probably going to see.
When is like the wedding and so forth?
Thursday is wedding soup.
Okay.
But typically that's when you'll see one of my strange soups.
One of your little creations.
So I make
I love
an
it.
enchilada soup that's kind of like the old Max and Irma's type of soup.
Well, I know my dad's enjoying the chicken.
That's what it is. Yep. So you can,
name, but
when you see that, that's kind of like the play on the soup from Max and Irma's, that creamy taco-y kind of soup. Yeah.
And people love their tacos and so forth.
Cinco de Mayo coming up. There's going to be some stuff.
That's right. So, we mentioned, Monday through Friday. What hours and days are you open?
I'm open Monday through Friday from 9 to 2:30. If there's events going on uptown that kind of lead up this direction, I'll open for those.
Right.
too, so.
And you've had people, when you open up the door, even just standing in line ready to go eat some food, right?
I do. And, in the mornings, I get here about 7:30. I have my door open, but the lights are off, and I get people that know that I'm here, and they come in and get their breakfast sandwiches and stuff
Get
a little bit
breakfast
earlier.
and then do their business, uptown, whether it be the courthouse or...
if they're getting their car fixed, some people come up and sit here.
That's right. Yeah. What's the big breakfast dish that people love?
So when I started, they were just kind of regular sandwiches, you can get ham, bacon, whatever. I have D&T's t-shirts below me.
Oh, yep.
They get
great
breakfast sandwiches
business,
all the time. So there's a D&T style sandwich on the board, and then Matt from Shorty's will get breakfast sandwiches. So I now have a D&T style sandwich and a Shorty's style sandwich. Both are a little bit spicy.
You have Shorties on board.
Yes.
Nice.
But they're both like kind of spicy stuff. So there's some sriracha and pepper rings and pepper jack cheese on there.
Reason I can handle that.
Yeah.
You know, my dad, he can handle much more, but I can handle some sriracha, you know. Now, how do you balance out, you're an entrepreneur, first and foremost. You're a business owner, obviously. How do you balance out your life?
This is my first priority, but it's not like it's a job to me. It's what I like to do. So I do.
Passion,
yeah.
Right? Okay.
And then I want to share that with people. So I go home and I get on the computer and I start making some posts and some ads. And just this morning, I started something with dirty sodas.
Okay. Back up. Bobbie, what's a dirty soda?
So,
please do tell.
I'm working on some things. So you take a soda, pick whatever kind of soda you want there, and we can add some syrups to it. So here's a plate on some root
Wait, we're
beer.
sipping on some syrup?
Well, it's more than syrup.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding, folks.
So,
not that kind of syrup.
The root beer. So root beer float.
Okay.
It's the root beer. It's some toasted marshmallow syrup, and it's some white chocolate syrup and some heavy cream and white chocolate mixed in there. So it's like a better version of a root beer float.
That sounds very high tech. You know, I don't like Starbucks or any of that stuff because it tastes like burnt crap to begin with.
Do some boba teas. So that's
do tell,
milk
like
teas.
fill everyone in. What's that?
So a boba tea. I started out with just the milk teas. So that is like a brown sugar and the milk and tea, like black tea. Some brown sugar syrup and these little tapioca balls. They're kind of like jelly.
Right. Yeah.
So those are a popular thing with a lot of like high school kids and college kids and things.
The younger generation, they've hopped on these bubble teas and so forth.
So I have some popping boba. I have strawberry popping boba now, but the milk teas I have all the time. So those are a super popular thing. I'm hearing from other people, I don't just say it from me, that some of the best milk teas that they've ever had, but I think that's because I hand craft those. They're not out of a machine. They're not processed the way they are from the actual bubble tea shops.
No, you read my mind because, I can imagine being that it's homemade, essentially, that would be superior to some stuff you buy,
you can even buy it in cans now, I think. Like you can buy it, but that's really, really processed. But so dirty sodas are another thing.
I did not know about dirty sodas. Interesting.
So, blackberry, it's called the Blackout.
Okay.
So that's Coke or Diet Coke, whichever, or Coke Zero.
Okay.
Blackberry syrup and a blackberry cold foam on it. So, it's just a little refreshing type summer drinks.
So you get refreshing drinks. You get amazing homemade sandwiches. Bobbie, what else would you like to add? I mean, you make homemade salads. You make homemade dressings. I mean, everything sounds like it's very much made with love, and you're locally sourcing all those foods.
Yeah.
So is there anything else you'd like to add, my friend?
Other than I am going to enter a chili cook-off, the first type thing I've done for Ag Days in Washington on May 9th. So come try my chili.
Now, granted, you don't have to release your recipe, obviously, but like...
Good, because I don't have recipes.
Wait. So wait, you don't have a recipe for your chili?
I have no recipe for any soup that I make ever.
Oh my goodness, I love it. I mean, so you're winging this on May 9th.
100%.
Where's this at, by the way?
It is at the Washington County Fairgrounds for the Ag Days.
Okay.
And the judging starts at 6 o'clock. So people can come through starting at 6 o'clock, tasting anybody's chilies and voting on the chilies. So they have the judges' chili determination, and then
like the people
band
choice.
favorites, craft.
Okay.
Yeah. So
no kidding. Oh man, I have to go to the fairgrounds now. I mean,
and for that, I use the Pennsylvania Packing House meats, so I use those things locally too when I can. So.
All locally, sourced. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna have some chili. I have to bring Big Dave because he will definitely be a good judge. I trust him on that one. Bobbie, is there anything else you'd like to add? Like, I think we mentioned, your hours, times. How do people reach out to you? Do you do catering, by the way?
I can do pickup catering.
Okay.
So people give me a call. I do charcuterie. Well, they're not charcuterie boards. I do grazing boards.
Wait. And you know what? I remember us having a discussion on this. Please, tell me the difference.
So a charcuterie board is technically meats and cheeses.
Right.
A grazing board is going to have things like it might have some carrots and celery and grapes or strawberries, but it still has the meats and cheeses, but it adds a whole array of things so you can pick and graze from it. So I do those as well, but everything has to be pick up because it's just me here.
Right. Yeah, you don't do any like Uber Eats or any of that stuff. No. Hey, you know what? It's worth the simple drive to begin with. I mean, it's very convenient, very accessible here in downtown Washington, Pennsylvania. Is there anything else you'd like to add, Bobbie?
I'm just, this is just something I wanted to do for a long time, and I'm really grateful to everybody that it has been a really great experience, and everybody seems to love everything. And win, lose, or draw, I couldn't ask for more than that.
That's awesome. Yeah. Bobbie Miller, entrepreneur and owner of the Cutting Board Deli. Thank you so much. I appreciate your time.
Thanks, man.
Absolutely. Happy. We love to support our local organizations, individuals, businesses, and so forth. So this is Matt Sweets Staniszewski, and this is America, period. Thank you.